When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
Marvel's newest, Captain America 4, A Brave New World. I'm joined by my boss, Ryan.
Hello, hello.
The movies has been your exposure.
Yeah.
How about the Falcon? What's been your exposure to the Falcon himself?
I think I've read a comic or two with him inside of it. I'm not sure exactly which ones, though. I don't remember.
Of somebody who's new to the whole universe here, there is an after-credit scene that seems to be leading into the Fantastic Four, don't you think?
That was my first impression, at least, based off of the dialogue and interaction.
What did you think of the movie itself?
I believe this was some sort of investigation mystery movie, kind of like James Bond sort of thing.
There's definitely a spy thriller, political intrigue,
like
that
a spy
kind of
movie. There you go. That kind of idea for a superhero movie, you wouldn't expect it to work out as much as it did, especially for something like this. Not too common, but we've seen it before. You know, they did it well. I feel like a few of the story beats here and there didn't really match up because in the beginning of the story, they almost give you already who the villain might be. If you're trying to figure it out with him, there's no point in doing that because you already kind of know.
Those of us who've read a ton of Hulk know who General Thunderbolt Ross is and who he's connected to. Then when they show the Edward Norton Hulk film clips at the beginning, you know that the leader is a huge character in the Hulk universe. One of the things I really liked about it, though, is that this is the first movie to really acknowledge the Edward Norton Hulk film.
Oh, yeah.
Because they went right back to it.
Blatant clips from the movie, even the same villains and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Did you like him as the Falcon?
Yeah.
In this, he's not the Falcon. He's more like Captain Falcon America. What did you think of Sam Wilson being Captain America?
I have a bit to say here. Did he do well as Captain America? Do I feel like he fits? I'd say so. We know Captain America's character and his person. He is pure-hearted. If anyone is gonna be at the forefront of the battle without any fear, it's Captain America. That's who he
He's
is.
the Superman of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. I think Sam Wilson being that character, in many times here, he showed no fear. Even when it came down to quite literally battling the Hulk, he stepped up without hesitation. His character and personality, his person fits. Do I like it so much when it comes down to actual superhero persona? Not really. I feel like he should have just stayed as Falcon, especially because he still has his wings. He's now working with vibranium and I guess nanotech kind of stuff with his helmet and his wings. It doesn't feel so much like Captain America as it does kind of like, I don't know, maybe Iron Man, Captain America sort of thing. It's odd for me.
I like the character of Sam Wilson. I wish he had stayed the Falcon. Steve Rogers should be Captain America, not Sam Wilson. It doesn't fit. In the movie, that Thunderbolt Ross says, well, you're not Steve Rogers. And yeah, he's not. It's like he's lost his own identity as a character, and he's taken somebody else's.
Yeah.
And then Javier, who is also a great character that takes over the Falcon, is he's lost his own identity and he's taken over somebody else's. I just don't like that. Never works. It's okay for a short story. Batman did it with Dick Grayson in Prodigy. That was a cool story where Dick Grayson was Batman for a year or two, but you knew he was going back to Bruce Wayne. So it was a fine story as a storyline. Mm-hmm. Here, it seems like they're committed to keeping Steve Rogers out of it. So you lose a good character, really lose two good characters.
Yeah. Going outside of like the Marvel medium, like a good example here is in the Invincible comic, you have Invincible, he has to deal with his own stuff off planet or whatever. Another superhero by the name of Bulletproof takes up the mantle of Invincible by wearing his suit, whatever. He goes on to do the superheroing for his business that Mark Grayson owns. But he does go back to his own character and he does give Invincible back to Mark Grayson. He only does that whenever they generally need him. He's not taking the identity, more so is he's just kind of, just for a story or two, whenever the story needs it.
I agree with you as far as I don't like the change. It takes away from the movie.
Yeah.
The plot is not bad. I love the Red Hulk. That is my favorite part of the film. Mm-hmm. The leader is brilliant in the film. They are perfect to play off of Sam Wilson. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get over that he's not Captain America.
Yeah. Speaking on Red Hulk, I wish we had more of him. We really only see him towards the end for about, I want to say, 5 to 10 minutes. it just kind of gave me, it brought me back to being, I'm still young, but it brought me back to being like a kid watching the original Hulk when it's just nothing but mayhem every time he's on the screen. He comes out and then it's just explosions here, helicopters dying here, tanks and all this stuff going out of commission just from a single punch or whatever by Hulk.
I like the nod to the Bill Bixby show where Bill would always get the green contacts in and you'd hear the duh. Harrison Ford looks at his hand, it gets big. And of course they do the shot that's in every Bill Bixby Lou Ferrigno transformation where you see the pants leg and the shoe and the leg gets big and rips through the pants and the shoe. That was so much fun. There was a lot of good in this film.
Yeah.
I love the Serpent Society costumes in the comics. I didn't particularly like the look of the Sidewinder in this.
Yeah, I guess they just look like normal soldiers with the vests on. I don't even think they had camo. I think it was just like black bodysuits, whatever. I wish they did have actual uniforms. Because like with Hydra, it's Hydra. They have the button.
Supervillains are supposed to be elaborate. They want you to know who you are.
Yeah.
They're not hiding. Sidewinder had walked into any room dressed in anything he was dressed in here. You couldn't tell him from a normal soldier.
Yeah.
Character of Sidewinder doesn't want that. If he did, he wouldn't put on that snake-looking costume.
Especially because in the movie, he's really not hiding. He comes out right in the open and starts shooting at Captain America. He pulls out the AK and just starts blasting at him. Early, when we first see him, he doesn't run away and hide or whatever. He takes him head on first and then calls the goons to come fight him. If you're gonna be that dramatic and that
blatant, you might as well be in costume.
You might as well be in costume. You might as well have something that's a little more popping out to differentiate you from the rest of them.
Because you want people to know this is you. There are plenty of flaws in this film, but there's also plenty of good. I loved Thunderbolt Ross' motivation with Betty Banner, and they got that right out of the comics where she's ticked off with him for sending the army after Bruce.
Yeah.
But it's kind of his job, Bruce is turning into a green monster. When Hulk first came out, he was pretty villainous in those first 6 issues.
Oh, he definitely.
Even in the first Fantastic Four issue that we reviewed, where Hulk and Thing went at it for the first time, Banner wasn't the actual bad guy, but he clearly was not the heroic character that we've come to know.
Yeah.
Special effects wise, I think this was really well done. The battle scenes were very cool. My favorite battle scene, of course, is the Red Hulk battle scene. Again, I wish we'd had more of that too. They break into Leader's bunker and the Leader has his little talk back and forth with Captain America, his supervillain spiel there. He ends up calling a bunch of thugs to keep Cap busy. I thought those type of fights were actually creative. The way they used the shield, the way they used the powers.
I don't really think any of the fights sucked, honestly. I enjoyed all of the action scenes here. One thing I will say is I do miss, I mentioned it while we were watching the movie, I miss the Steve Rogers punches, and with the super serum, they would go flying. You would feel the impact, or you would see that he's not just a mere person fighting another person. It's not just normal hand-to-hand combat. There was times when he had to hold back out of worry that he might accidentally punch someone too hard and then boom, they die. I do miss that sort of impact that he had. That original fight with him and Bucky, and then that original fight with him and Black Panther. That was best choreography, best fighting, because they both have that sort of super strength, and they both have that reaction time, and just all of that stuff that you would see from a superhero. They both had that, and seeing that was just really cool. The special effects go and the CGI and all that, so much better than any of the recent movies that have come out. Genuinely so much better. I don't know what the difference was that they did with the
Marvels is a good example of CGI that sucked.
Yeah, and then also, like, what was the one that just came out? It was Deadpool vs. Wolverine. The CGI wasn't bad, but it's just the costumes looked weird. They looked a little too animated. They didn't look as if he had it on or if it was real. Obviously, he has it on, but it just looked a little too, I don't know, there was something about it. All of the CGI in this movie looks so much better, and it brought me back to the first kind of movies that they were coming out with. So I kind of wish for that. Let's just keep that going in the next movies. That's all I want, is that good CGI, please.
The people who should not see this movie, you can take your kids to this. There's nothing really gross, nothing really obscene or anything like that. It's not Deadpool Wolverine, but I loved that movie, but it is not for kids.
Yeah.
People who shouldn't see this movie are people who do not like Sam Wilson as Captain America. If the only Cap you want is Steve Rogers, I respect that, and don't go to this. If you're not into movies that go over 2 hours, this is not for you.
If you enjoy the action of the other Captain America movies, you should definitely go and give this a chance. You should try it out and watch it because, again, the hand-to-hand combat was good and all that stuff. If you enjoy the sort of murder mystery kind of thing, spy movies and stuff like that, you should definitely go and check this out. You will find enjoyment in that. If you enjoy superhero movies and you want to see how it leads into the next phase, then this is for you as well. See what's gonna happen. Actually, I feel like this one is a big part of what's gonna come later on.
Until next time, that's a wrap.
Ladies